parties are having to say.
Steve Swart is standing by from the ACDP. A very good morning to you, sir, and welcome.
To your viewers.
We had some reaction from other political parties. Your thoughts on the ruling this morning?
Yes, well, from our side, and as a lawyer, we obviously welcome the ruling and we commend all the party leaders that are there and the efforts that they've taken in taking this matter to court. What is significant is that the Constitutional Court has basically overturned the Western Cape High Court, which found that the Speaker did not have the discretion. So that is a very key aspect as a lawyer that we need to understand. And also, I heard your discussion earlier with Eben Elvis, where you indicated there was a concern about secret ballots being the order of the day. I think the court has laid down very strict guidelines as to when it should be. It should be a matter of great import. And any decision by the Speaker, either way, whether it is an open or a closed ballot, must be legitimate and can itself be taken on review. So there's a huge onus on the Speaker, and we from Parliament, sitting from Parliament, and obviously myself, a long-serving member on the Justice Committee, will be watching very closely as to how this discretion is exercised. It is clear, and I join my colleagues on this particular instance of the vote of no confidence, that it requires a motion of no confidence, because in the corridors of power, walking around here, there are a number of MPs that have spoken to us as opposition parties and said they would like to support a motion of no confidence, but they are concerned about the repercussions and the reprisals, and therefore this is a major step forward to protect them from reprisals. And as the court indicated, where you have such high levels of unhappiness in society, this is not a normal no confidence debate. This is of a high level where your president and the levels of state capture that have been indicated, and that there's prima facie evidence is of such a nature that your majority party MPs themselves in Parliament are very concerned about this. And so there's a good chance that many of them will support this motion if it is done as a secret ballot. And we obviously from the ACDP will be working with other opposition parties to persuade the Speaker that in the light of what the court has found and the guidelines that the court has given, that this is a matter that should be and requires it to be a secret ballot. But it doesn't mean that every vote in Parliament will be by a secret ballot.
There were rumours of intimidation for those MPs that do not toe the party line from the ANC. Will this particular ruling now protect them, you think?
Well, it will absolutely, because if at the end of the day that the voting does take place by a secret ballot, then accountability will be ensured, and of course secrecy. No one will be able to determine which members of Parliament voted for in support of the motion of no confidence. So they will be protected from reprisals, and that was the motivation for bringing this court application, because one picked up here in Parliament that there were many MPs that are unhappy with the situation, but they were saying that because of the Western Cape High Court's previous decision, and because the Speaker said she does not have the power to determine a secret ballot, and that the court has now said is incorrect. She's incorrect in that assumption, and they have now said you do have the power, but it is your discretion and you need to exercise it in a very careful, and it's an onerous burden, but how you exercise it, they've given those guidelines. So yes, they will, those members of Parliament from the majority party that do choose to support the motion of no confidence will be protected from any reprisals, because there'll be no indication of how they voted. Similar to when we vote for the President, the Deputy President and the Speaker at the beginning of a new parliamentary timetable. It's a secret ballot. There's no indication of how people have voted.
If the Speaker grants you're asking for a vote of no confidence and with a secret ballot, what does the number suggest, though, Mr. Swart? Do you think that you will get it?
Well, it's about a shortage of between 50 and 60 members of Parliament from the majority party that we would be required to support this motion of no confidence. And there's been a lot of discussion. Remember, there's a very sense of collegiality here in Parliament. There are a number, and you've probably noticed in the last while how members of Parliament are exercising their muscles, their oversight muscles. And it's a question of accountability. It's a question of your oath of office, in your oath of allegiance to the Constitution, and not only to your political party. That former President Thabo Mbeki emphasized. So I do believe from what one speaks and one hears in the corridors, that those numbers we will be able to persuade 50 to 60 members of Parliament of the ruling party to support a motion of no confidence, and there's a good likelihood that it may succeed. People are also looking, the majority party members are also looking to 2019, and opinion polls are showing that the majority party might not win the 2019 elections. So there are a number of aspects here, but the most important aspect is our constitutional duty of accountability and to the elected, as elected representatives to the citizens of the country, and not only to your political party. And I think that's what the Constitutional Court highlighted this morning.
Mr. Swart, thank you so much for your time and joining us.
Thank you.
That was the ACDP Steve Swart talking to us there. Now,